There's a bunch of things that we can do to show value, but really it comes down to what is important to them in order to work with you, right? And sometimes I even ask, like, hey, what is important to you working with an agent? What is important qualities that you want in your agent? Because these are great questions to have too and figure that out. Then you can learn how to follow up the way they want to follow up. How are you doing this morning?
Doing good.
Nice. It looks like you're nice and cozy with the wood fireplace over there.
I wish that was real, but it's not.
It's all good. It's all good. Well,
Yeah.
It looks like right now you've been coming to our classes more religiously, so which is great. So thank you for that. But I think more so, it's more on, one-on-one coaching. So you let me know what you need and let me help you figure it out.
Yeah, I'm about to get another one today. I got another one last week, but
Nice.
yeah, it's I guess the biggest challenge that I'm facing is when I do get these leads, whether it be on my own or through Meskula. I guess I'm still having a difficult time understanding in terms of when I'm talking with them, whether it be by text or over the phone, understanding in terms of how to get them. I'm getting listing appointments. It's just in-person appointments or even phone ones, but getting to that next level and how often should I follow up? Because I lost one when he went on vacation and came back. He already had another agent. So I was like, okay.
Interesting. Okay, a few things. So number one, when he tells you that he has a few agents, what I do also too, just to kind of figure it out, is I also ask like, hey, I totally understand. Congrats on that. Hopefully we can work together in the future. But if you don't mind me asking, because I pride myself on always improving, is there something, a reason, something that I could, be better in the future, whatever, right? I think that's good. They might not even respond back to you, but at least you're sending it out and you're asking for positive feedback. I think really it comes down to connecting with people, truly connecting with people. And then when you connect with people, I think you have to also have a route on, okay, what am I doing next? Like, what is the scenario if they don't want to sign today? Because that's what I've been focusing on as well. Because in the last 2 years, from Meskula, I probably went on over hundreds of listing appointments. Okay. So, however, you're not getting everybody. Right. And obviously I would have the same thing. I would go to someone, 3 months later, they're choosing to work someone else or whichever. Right. So I was thinking about, okay, how do I lock them down even though they're not ready yet? Because if I can get them to sign something with me, that means I'm their realtor.
Right. Okay.
So I believe you're in the States, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, nice, man. So I don't know if there's a program that your brokerage has or something that you can invest in, but there's something that I have called Knocked. So I'll show you. I think I've showed everyone this before. Sorry, I'm just going to show you this screen, but give me a second here.
Sure.
So it's like an exclusive listing platform where you can send listings to other people, like agents.
I see.
And even, which gives you like more of a value, right? Especially if you have leads. Sorry, I have to sign in here.
And you said it sends it out to other agents or?
So I'll show you right now. Let me explain. So as you can see, we have a bunch of listings coming out. This one was a Meskula lead on Bonnie Castle. Pine Ridge was Meskula lead. This was a referral through social media. This was a past client. This is a referral. And then this is a past client. And we have more. Right. I have another couple. But basically what it is let's say Bonnie Castle, for example. These guys were really cool. So these guys want to sell. They're looking for around 850. Kind of like an MLS listing, and you can send it to people. So this is really good because, it gives people, I don't have any of the interiors because obviously the interior and stuff needs to be staged, right?
Yes.
But this is a great way to get people to kind of like, maybe they're not ready yet, but they can get some basically what I'm trying to say is that what I tell sellers, listen, you're not ready yet, totally understand. However, if we were able to get you a specific number, would you consider accepting that offer? Or would you consider that offer? Yes. Okay,
Right.
well, guess what? I got a great plan for us. So you may not be ready yet, just like most of our sellers. However, if the opportunity comes because the market is picking up a little bit, I want to make sure that we have people, either our buyers or other agents, to make sure that if they see your house and that an offer comes in that's satisfactory to you, as you just mentioned a few moments ago, you would accept it, right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we just do an exclusive listing? So, basically saying that you're giving me the authority to market and put it on the system. We'll just do exterior photos for now. And I'm not promising you that we're going to get showings right away or, like tons of showings, but this is just a tool for us that if someone's looking in this area, I can send it to one of our leads or our past clients, or C, I can send it to all the agents that are there. So look, this has already 1,074 shares.
Okay.
So this is a really good tool to keep them in your database
Okay.
and get the listing. So
I
these
see.
guys are going to list in the next few weeks now. But like
Okay.
that's the whole point, right? To have something in the back end, because the hard part is like when you go to these listings, a few things are going to happen. They may be second in line. They may already have a relationship with someone, but they don't
Mhm.
be, they want to do their homework before they fully commit and those kind of things, right? So, or they just might literally have an agent, they just want someone else, which is okay. But and you're there, it's your job to connect with them as much as possible, make them feel comfortable, present to them very well. Because if you present to them very well, then they're going to be like, wow, this person's really, really good. And then, now if you have a solution that if there's a number that they can get,
Mhm.
then you can reel them in. And this way, you're not losing listings. Since I've
Okay.
implemented this, I've got a lot of more listings,
Wow. Okay.
especially from Meskula.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily that you're going live on the MLS. It's just within like an agent network.
Yeah, it's giving me like the tools that I can like take photos of the property and send it to our agents networks to see if
Okay.
there's buyer. But I'm not promising that we're going to get on a showing today or tomorrow as well.
Right.
And this
Okay.
is the other thing as well too. If we get one person that wants to give you your number, and this is like what 30% of visibility. What happens if you show everyone 100% of the market?
Okay.
So then that gets them more motivated to come to the market.
Okay.
Those are some of the little tricks of the trade that I've started doing because I've gone through so many appointments
Yeah.
that I just want them all. Right?
I'm with
So
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. So and then that's kind of where that is essentially. Do I get them all? No. Do I lose? Yeah, it is what it is. It's part of the game. But hey,
Right.
even if you can get half or 60% of your listing appointments that you go on. Let's say you go 10. Even if you get 5 or 6 listings, dude, that's still like if you get standard commission, that's still like 100 grand
Yeah.
depending on
Yeah.
price range.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm doing. So now I
Okay.
think it also comes down to, so kudos on getting more of listing appointments, but what are you bringing at the listing appointment?
Yeah. What I'm doing is bringing a CMA.
Okay, but how are you bringing a CMA? Are you having it in a folder? Do you have it in a book?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I create a folder for each visit. So it's professionally done. In a sense, I do it, but I have a folder and I put everything inside.
But are
Uh,
you like, do you have like, I don't have one of my books here, but do you have, for example, here, I'll show you one of my CMAs.
what I do is two things. I
Yeah.
create one that has basically I create a flip book, which I share with them, but I also have another printed version, which I leave with them. But that's also bound in a book.
Bound.
So,
Okay, good. Is it branded? Is it a
yes,
hardcover or is it a soft cover?
it's a soft cover. The one that I have a flip is a hardcover, but one that I leave with them is a soft cover.
Okay. I would probably, so in my opinion, I pay a lot for good presentation stuff. So like for myself, when I come in with a hardcover book that's branded and everything is done very nice,
Mhm.
most clients are like, wow, because most agents are coming in soft cover book, or
I
some
see.
agents are just printing out comps and just fucking giving it to them. Right. So it's that. So what I bring, just to let you know, is I bring a branded book with the listing presentation. I'll
Okay.
show you what my listing presentation looks like. And hey, for everyone that's coming in, I know we have a little bit more of an intimate class. Most of you guys come in often, which is great. So I appreciate you guys. But instead of just going through everything that we're going through, I think it's better to just give you guys one-on-one coaching about, okay, you get the appointments. What do you do next, right? Because this is the next part. Doing the calls and cultivating is only one part. So, I always like to try to help you guys a lot more and do what I'm seeing in the marketplace right now. So let me give you an example. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my little one here. What am I doing? There's just so many different tools that we use that I get lost sometimes. Sorry, guys. So a few things. So just before I do the listing appointment, I think if you guys don't implement a call sheet right now, I think this is something that you guys should do. So a call sheet is basically like my job is to make sure I'm talking to 20 people a day about real estate, whether they hang up on me, call, accept the call, whatever. Okay. So you do the number of calls, the actual conversations, the number of text messages, number of voicemails. Then we use social media as a lead pillar, right? So social media interactions, emails, and appointments booked and goals. Then we have notes, okay? Like my assistant goes through all my things and then she kind of goes through people that I should follow up that week. Then I have notes where I write all my leads, all my good conversations so I can go back on. If you don't have an assistant, put this in a binder so you can stay on top of things because I find that this does really help me a lot and it helps me stay motivated. So that's that. So basically CMA. Where's my CMAs? So this is what our CMA looks like. So you have basically branded, thanking them for the opportunity. We put a home assessment for their house, right? It's all about you guys. So I always say that it's about your needs, your dreams, your questions, your life, right? And I say that a lot of people, especially that does a lot of transactions like us, forget how important this is for you. However, my goal is to make sure that we're here and we're serving you in the highest level of form. So I'm always going to be here. Real estate is stressful, but we make it as less stressful as possible. Okay. So I just want to remind you that I'm the driver in the Rolls Royce. You let me know where you want to go. So then I have our team. Okay. And then I just talk, I don't even really go through the selling process. All this stuff here, and these are photos from our listings, all these stuff here, I just leave for them to read. I don't feel that I need to go over everything because, people know what it is. I usually come back to explain about, after we do the comps and all that stuff, this is what 1% looks like. We took this from another agent and then this is the same house, but staging and all that other stuff and really good editing on the photos. It's two different properties. Which one do you think you're going to go see? Which one do you think is going to leave money on the table? This one, right? So it's just kind of doing all that stuff, talking about our process, whatever. This one's really good too, because in bold, like in Keller Williams, near the end when we finish the appointment, just to let you know, when I was working for looking for an agent, things that I would look for, and then you circle these things. You circle like the keyword. So, I'm looking for someone who's a tough negotiator, someone who's honest, someone who's a great communicator, and someone who's building you wealth. Whatever you feel is important in those keywords for those people, okay? Whichever one. And then I have testimonials in the back with photos. And these are not all of them, they're just some, right? So what I bring when it comes to a CMA in terms of comps and stuff like that, give me 1 second, CMA.
And do you do real actual staging or virtual?
I do.
Real? Okay.
Yeah. So then I pull up the stats, right? So I pull August, whatever month it is. So August year to date. And then I go to whatever it is. If it's an attached house, I bring the attached house. If it's detached, I bring detached. And then I pretty much go through it. Oshawa is selling, detached homes are selling about 860 on average, 102% to list price, and they're sitting, 25 days on the market or whatever. And then I go through my comps. So, okay, this is one of the houses that are similar to yours. And then here's the photos. This one had no photos. Here's the photos. So I'm doing a lot of work. Do you know what I mean? And showcasing that to them.
Yes.
So I feel like this is a really good opportunity to make your listing appointment similar to this because I get a lot of great results from it. Obviously, could it be better? Sure, anything could be better, but it's not about being better. It's about what tool works for you the best to get deals closed. And then once you get there, then you just, keep advancing it, right? So are you bringing stuff like that in your CMA?
I am bringing not just the comps, but the market stats, neighborhood things, data about that. I'm also bringing in that folder is also a marketing plan or proposal of what I do in terms of marketing to get their property sold, not just
Yeah.
listed, but sold. So yeah, I put all that in there. Since I'm new as far as an agent within the last year, I don't have a lot of reviews. So I don't put that as of yet, but I will.
Yeah, for sure. But even get your friends and family just to write a review. Even if you get 10 or whatever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's just to help you out, right? Also, too, I bring like a folder that has like a branded photo folder that has like, more of like the title search, certain like legal issues on the property
I
so that
see.
I can pull it
Okay.
up, especially
Okay.
with the square footage report. And then I also bring a binder that's like this thick in past sales. So then I go through everything. So
Okay.
I'm doing one of two things. I'm presenting very well. I'm showing them that I'm knowledgeable. I'm showing them our marketing stuff that we were going to do to get the house sold. And then I'm
Hmm.
also coming with more information about their house because they're like, oh, well, my house is, about 2,600 square feet. I'm like, it's actually 21.
Yeah.
Oh, are you sure? My old realtor told me that. Well, no, here's the report. Maybe you're including the basement, but above ground, this is what it is. And they go, oh, so as your whole point is to like show them something new, build report, and do all that stuff, and then show the past sales. If it's not yours, show the brokerage. Okay,
Gotcha. Okay.
what you're doing because that shows credibility, right? And then from there, that's when you kind of figure out exactly, okay, how do you close? Where is it going to leave off? And those kind of things. I always try a trial close, but you have to set it up. If you just say, oh, let's list, like they're going to say no, you have to set it up. So, after you do the market value, right, and you go through the book. So curious, Mahir, if you were able to get, the numbers we chatted about, would you consider reviewing that offer?
Yeah.
Right. So, okay, perfect. So, I do have because obviously most sellers are in the same boat, right? They don't want to miss out on the top dollar. They want to make sure that they're not missing the boat, and they want to make sure that buyers come to their house, even though they're planning to go on the market, right? That's all every seller's concern. So, what we've implemented, since we're one of the top agents, is we've implemented a tool where basically we have an offline. There's an MLS system where everyone publicly can see it, and then there's an offline tool that I can share with leads, past clients, and also all top agents, because truthfully it's the top agents are doing most of the business and they'll have the clientels to send out to them. And I'm not promising showings right away or any of that, but at least it gets the word out. So until we plan to get the listing in. And as you mentioned, Mahir, if you were able to get the 850 as we mentioned, it sounds like you would really consider that opportunity. There you go. So would you want to try to would you want to move forward and put it on the offline market?
Sure. As long as I get the numbers.
Exactly. No problem.
Yeah.
So that's it. And then
Okay.
that way you've now have motivation. You've now, chatted with them. You've now kept the business. Because if they're signing with you, that means they want to work with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. So
Yeah.
what do we do in a point where that doesn't happen and it's just a follow-up, right? Then what
Right.
you need to do is you need to have automatic tools or systems where if a new listing comes out, they'll get the listings there, right? They'll get the automatic listings and stuff like that.
Okay.
Also too, if they're looking for something specific, then send them those opportunities. If there's good in market stats, I would send them market stats. So there's a bunch of things that we can do, but to show value. But really, yeah, it comes down to what is important to them in order to work with you, right? And sometimes I even ask, like, hey, what is important to you working with an agent? What is important qualities that you want? Because these are great questions to have too and figure that out.
That's true. I'm
Then you can sorry, my apologies. Then you can learn how to follow up the way they want to follow up.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. My initial hesitation in putting qualifications for an agent was because I'm new.
Yeah, but just because you're new doesn't mean you're bad,
Okay.
right? And it's like a new agent playing on the NBA. Okay, now the spotlight's on you. Show them why you're the best. Show them why you made it to the
Right.
NBA.
Okay. Makes
Right?
sense. Makes
Right?
sense.
I feel
Yeah.
like most of the problems is that we get stuck in our head that we feel that we're not good enough,
I see.
or that someone's always better. Listen, there's people better than me, but it doesn't matter. It's not about who's better. It's about, with real estate, it's about who's going to get the job done and who does the client feel most confident with.
True. True.
And in the appointment, you can say also too, In this appointment, is there anything that you feel that I haven't covered or that you feel that I may not be confident in? Pinpoint any objections. And if someone gives you an objection, yeah, I feel like you don't have enough experience. Okay, no problem. Now, before I go forward with that, is there anything else? So you want to isolate that objection. Is there anything else? If I can show you that I am experienced in anything, is that typically the only objections that you may have working with each other? Yes. Okay, perfect. Now you have to tell them why you're good. Hey, I understand that we're new, but and I would bring it like to a basketball kind of thing or whatever sport they're into, right? Because you got to speak their language. So I would say, hey, as we chatted in this, it sounds like you're an NBA fan, right? So just like in the NBA, if a new agent comes onto your favorite team, let's say like Atlanta, right? They come to Atlanta, are you already going to think they don't have experience? No, because there has to be a certain qualification for them to make it. And didn't they train their whole life to do there? So maybe I found my calling in real estate a little bit later, but I can tell you every day I was always analyzing and always learning and always very interested in real estate. And for me, it's not a job, it's a passion. So who would you want someone to work for? Someone that's passionate about something and will always go the extra mile, or someone that just wants to collect a paycheck?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I would just do it that way, man.
Yeah.
But I think those are great. Those are, things that you can pivot on, and I think that you can do really well. But other than that, it sounds like you have a lot of good things going.
Thank you. Well, I've been learning a lot and that's the good thing about Meskula. And, I have other programs too, but hands down, Meskula, in terms of the training with you guys and the systems they have in place are amazing.
Right? So I can totally understand that. And I agree with that. That's why I haven't never left Meskula, because I just feel that it just is really well.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mahir, I'm gonna give someone else a chance, but I appreciate you. If you have any questions, let me know. But I know a lot of people came through. We were talking about listing appointments and all that stuff. But hey, I would love to learn where you guys are at, wins, objections, strategies, or something that you're stuck on, because I would love to help you guys out. The floor is for anybody else that has any questions. Don't worry, I don't bite. You guys are all quiet. Come on. Any objections that you guys are facing? Anything other than, booking the appointment when you're there? Anything at all? Ryan, Ravi, Jeff, you guys are all good? You guys don't have any questions? You're just sitting quiet? Cindy?
Hey, Nick, I just actually signed up with Meskula, so I'm just fly on the wall right now trying to take in some of the stuff that you guys are chatting about. So
Okay, cool.
Early days for myself.
No problem. I'll circle back to some of those questions, and maybe I'll play one of my calls that can help you out a little bit just before we end there. But
Sure.
Welcome to Meskula, Ravi. Ryan, Jeff, Cindy, any specific questions at all, or any objections, or any success that you guys have been having? Any pain points?
Driving traffic to an open house. We had one yesterday. It was just a ghost town. We did it around. It was difficult because it was there's a gate, and so we had to put a sticky note with call our number to get the gate code. But I don't think anybody was showing up anyway. I'm in Vegas. It's the fastest cooling market in the country. Houses are sitting quite a bit longer than usual. So we've got this client. She's got some time to sell, but there is a time frame because she's in contract on another home. Her house hit the market last week. Not been a lot of activity, which we're not freaking out about yet.
Of course.
But she's pretty nervous. So we want to make her feel like things are happening.
Of course.
So running the open house wasn't really successful. I'm trying to figure out what we can do to get more eyes on the. We're running Facebook ads. We're doing everything we can, but
of course.
Any tips?
So what I can tell you, it's in a cooling market, so I can relate to that because I have a few listings now that are very painful about that. And now clients, I don't know about your guys, but my clients are using ChatGPT to tell me what I need to do better. And it's like, guys, I know what I need to do. It's when it comes to not getting visibility, I don't know Las Vegas, Las Vegas's, kind of stats there, but I can tell you from my experience that if it's a higher property, if it's gated, it probably sounds like it's probably like a 1.5 plus listing, or am I wrong?
No, a lot of gated communities here, and the house is only about 530.
Okay, so I can tell you that a few things. So one is usually price is a factor. If you've priced it right, then and it's in line, great. In this market where things are going lower, if you think it's going to be between 550 and 6, I would almost say 5 and 550. So that's kind of the sliding scale that I'm using right now for our listings, because over here it's like there's inventory, things are going well, but like buyers are just not buying. They're just booked, but people are just not pulling the trigger on certain things. The second part is also more so towards, so if you're not getting traction on the open house, it's harder when you have the gated community, right? But I think that having the sign out there and doing what you're doing there is great. I think another thing that I would be doing as well is literally sending agents who've had listings there, or buyers that have just bought or bought about a year ago. I would be sending this listing to all those agents.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Just because, like, obviously it's on MLS, whatever. But if you put it in front of them, ChatGPT, a really good title, and then some body, hopefully you can drive some traffic to yours, because that would help.
Yeah.
Obviously with social media, try to jump on a trend about a property, about something. So here's one that we've done. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's so it is one of these ones here. 1 second. I don't know if you guys seen it, seen the trend where it's like, your admin or your wife or something just goes, my going to tell you about this new listing and you better listen to it. Have you guys seen that one? And then the husband comes and the husband's like, yeah, so, or the agent comes in and they're like, yeah, so, we have a new listing at 123 Main Street. And then, the person goes, tell them about the bathrooms or whatever it is. Like, here, I'll show you, because obviously I'm probably not doing a good job explaining it. So anyways, I'm just saying, do some trending reels to get more visibility rather than just spending ad spend, because the problem with ad spend is it's good for the views to show, hey seller, I got this many views, whether it's targeted. The problem is I feel that since there's so many ads on Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff, everyone is just scrolling through. Not everybody, but it's, they've become numb to it. So maybe try doing YouTube, because I know with YouTube, you can channel a postal code. So let's say if there's an area that's near there where a lot of first-time buyers may be, or schools or whichever, like universities or colleges or whichever, maybe target those postal codes to see if anyone is interested in that.
Yeah, sure. This specifically, we're in a little bit of a jam because it's an older woman. She's impulsive. She went and bought a new house, and she needs like every penny on this one to make the new deal work. So she kind of put us in a jam, and I don't think we're priced high, but ordinarily, if we had to move it, we just start doing a price reduction. We're trying to hold off on the price reduction because she needs every penny. So we're kind of waiting a little longer than we normally would. But yeah. I know if we dropped it 20,000, it would sell probably immediately. But we don't want to drop it 20,000 because she needs every single penny she can get. So we're kind of waiting a little longer than usual. Anything there?
So this is the thing, Jeff, and I've learned from doing lots of listings, and it sounds like you've done a lot too, is that if you know that it's going to sell at that 20 grand difference, then maybe you drop the 10 right away, because this is the problem. As inventory goes, depending who else is, in a falling market, depending who else is, more motivated to sell, if that comp sells lower than what you needed at, that's going to screw you. And yes, she needs every dollar, but I mean, at the end of the day, the market's going to pay what it's worth, and it's on the market, and just letting it go stale is probably going to be worse than dropping it to 20 grand and getting it done.
So since things have really kind of shifted down here, we've done, I think, 4, and some of them, it's just like they sit, and then all of a sudden it comes through, and they sit, and all of a sudden the buyer comes through. And we're, like I said, it's been on about a week. The activity's been low. And so we're like, okay, we know that we would get more activity if it was a little lower, but we're just giving it a little.
So then I would just send it to agents that.
I think that's the best. Yeah, that's great.
Because those are people that do deals there.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea.
So that at least helps out. And then you can say, hey guys, like, she's a little bit more motivated. Obviously, like, we have to still negotiate, but like, bring them in, like, we can get this done.
Yeah, so you're saying just everybody who's sold in her area recently, just start hitting all those agents.
Sale and buyer.
Okay.
Like the co-op agent. because that co-op agent, especially if you see a co-op agent that's done 2 or 3 deals, in a year there, then those are probably he or she may have clientele for that building there.
Got it. That's a great idea. Thanks.
Just to kind of look through there, because that's going to help you out a lot. But it sounds like you're killing it, man. So keep going.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. Cindy, any questions? No, just chilling. Ryan, you got any questions? No, you guys are quiet today. You guys must be crushing it. Okay, I'm gonna just load on one of my calls, and we go from there. Just so Robbie, you can hear a little bit of what we do differently.
Appreciate it.
No problem. Now, Ravi, just before I go into my kind of stuff, now, do you do online leads, or are you kind of new to the game?
I've been part of two teams that have done online leads, so you get some of their coaching and their guidance. But the funny thing is, none of the team leads are usually, they jump onto these things, but they don't actually do a lot of calls themselves. So a lot of it is self-training, a lot of do it yourself. So have I been successful with it? Yes, that was part of the reason why I moved over to my own platform, because I realized, if you're giving up a large chunk of your commission, it doesn't make any sense to continue doing that when you're actually putting in the work, you're learning the scripts, and you're trying to convert yourself. So I decided to invest myself and see what results I get. I'm not trying to say that you have a little ego. It's just more so like, hey, what results can I get by myself? And that drive is different when you've invested your own money into this.
100%.
And the leads are converting differently, because every lead now is, hey, I spent $30 on this lead to get him to this point. So I think those things will, and then you're also not competing with your own team over the same lead. And, it just happens to be that because they're the 23rd dial, the first people that dial the first 22, you just miss it. Right. So it's just about keeping it more internal. So yeah, this would be my first platform, I guess, that I'd be doing solo.
Cool. Congrats, man. Yeah, so I'm a team lead. I have team members. I'm more of a team lead that's in the mud with my team, getting deals done. I do my calls. Obviously, I'm starting to get really busy, so it's hard for me to do everything. But obviously, my teams take care of what they need to do on that. So I'm gonna play one of these leads. So just so you know, Ravi, these are social media leads that essentially there's ads going saying how much your house is worth. Most of those leads think that there's an automatic number that shoot out, but that's not the case. Then you have Ashley, who's the AI that kind of follows up on your behalf to try to book you a phone call. Sometimes that happens, sometimes it doesn't, right? So in this case, this is someone that has booked a phone call with us. So what I like to do, I'll explain a little bit before you hear the call, and I'll fast forward to some of the stuff because most of it's just building relationships and things. But basically, obviously you got to break the ice. I always try to say be authentic to you as possible. For me, I like to have a good time. I like to laugh. I'm a chill guy. So I like to just open up with saying, hey, how are you? I'm living the dream, get them to chuckle, and then kind of go into there. The next step is I basically just say, hey, listen, hey, Ravi, I understand that you're just looking for an online assessment. I want to let you know right away, this is not a sales call by any means. This is more just helping you find your online assessment. Does that sound good? Cool. So before you do any of these listings, or these calls, you're pulling up the past listing, you're pulling up comps, you're pulling up what's available. So you have all that knowledge and market stats. So you have that all in front of you so that if they say whichever, about a property, you can see it right there. And that shows that you're professional. It shows that what you're doing, you're the local expert, right? Because remember, they don't know you. You're just like a random person calling. So you have to really make sure you knock these things down. From there, I always ask, is it okay if I just go over some information that I found? No problem. I said I see the house is built in 1990, so you bought it 10 years ago. I don't see many photos on the property. Even if you do, I always say no, because that builds more demand for you to get into the door. Right. So from there, what I do is I see this. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Have you done any updates? Have you done any additions? Have you done any things like that? Right. Then they'll start talking about everything. And then from there, you start piecing the puzzle together and then let them know, like, listen, like the online assessments, especially in this market, and everywhere is totally different. You're seeing high price points for properties that shouldn't be, and then low price points for homes that do. It sounds like you put a lot of premium dollars into your house and premium care. So I'd love to assess it in the premium light. I'm not sure if you'd be open to it, but I'd love to take a look so I can give you the real value, because my fear is that, me not giving you the right value is not serving you at the highest and best level that you need and you're not getting the right information. And let me ask you a question. If I was able to come to your house and give you an extra 50 or 100K quote higher, wouldn't that be something of value that you would want to know, that you're sitting on more money? And I would. Scotiabank tells me I'm richer than I think. So let's see if that's true. Right. So, and then I just kind of go into there and get the appointment.